Hi everyone, I'm Squishy and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome! I play sim and cozy games. Today I'm diving into something I've been thinking a lot about lately, my top 10 requests for improvements in Disney Dreamlight Valley. For context, I've been playing Dreamlight Valley for over 2,200 hours since its second week in early access. As someone with a complex chronic illness, I spend a lot of time at home, so I've had plenty of opportunities to really sink into the game. And let me tell you, I've reached the end game and seen almost everything this game has to offer, but what if the next update could make Dreamlight Valley even better? What if these changes could take it from good to great? I've spent so much time in this game, and if you're anything like me, you've probably found yourself thinking, what could make this game even more fun or engaging? So today I'm going to share my top 10 improvements I'd love to see, and I promise you'll want to stick around till the end. Some of these requests might make you think, why hasn't GameLoft done this already, or how can this game not have this feature? We're covering everything from DreamSnap rewards to multiplayer overhauls, so let's get into it. We're starting at 10 and counting all the way down to number 1. Number 10 is DreamSnap rewards. Alright, let's kick things off with DreamSnaps. Now, for those of us who are in the later stages of the game, opening a DreamSnap chest isn't always as exciting as it used to be. After hundreds of hours of playtime, the outfit rewards and decor that you get from these red chests just feel repetitive. If you're like me, you probably already have most of the outfits and furniture in the game, so every time you open a chest, it feels like you're getting, well, nothing. What if DreamSnap chests could be more than just a decorative letdown? Imagine getting something like extra moonstones or even some rare crafting materials instead. Even just 50 moonstones would make a big difference. If you're at the point in the game where the outfits and decor don't really move the needle anymore, giving us something like moonstones would feel much more rewarding. It's all about value for time. If you're spending time doing DreamSnaps and leveling up that skill, don't you want the rewards to be meaningful? I definitely do. Honestly, it feels like this could be a simple change that would make a big difference in player satisfaction, especially for those who have been with the game since day one. Number 9 is Star Path duties. Can we chill a little? Okay, maybe this is just me venting a little, but let's talk about Star Path duties. You know that moment when you open up the Star Path and realize it wants you to give 27 gifts to specific villagers or catch 12 rare fish? Yeah, same. What if we had a Star Path that actually respected our time and creativity a little bit? Right now it feels like the game is saying, here, do all this random stuff you weren't planning on doing today, and we're over here just trying to finish a build or do a dream snap or something. And look, I totally understand the need for some structure and challenge in the Star Path. That's what keeps the game fresh, gives us goals to work toward, but some of these tasks just feel like overkill. The DreamSnaps tasks in particular, I'd love to see that one quietly retired. The moment it pops up in the duties list, you just know the upcoming DreamSnaps gallery is going to be full of completely off-theme submissions. It waters down the fun for people who are actually trying to be creative and follow the prompt. DreamSnaps is such a cool concept, and I know we'll talk more about that later, but when it comes to a checkbox and a grindy list of must-dos, it kind of loses its magic sometimes. The same goes for those ultra-specific gift-giving sprees. Like, I adore Remy, but even he's starting to look uncomfortable with how many souffles I'm bringing him. At a certain point, it stops feeling cozy and just starts to feel extremely grindy sometimes. So how do we fix this? What if GameLoft gave us more customizable Star Path options? Like, imagine being able to pick between combating night thorns, foraging, designing outfits, or just building something cool. Let us lean into the part of the game we love most. Not every player wants to do everything, and we shouldn't have to, especially when some of these duties feel like they're padding the time just for the sake of it. And here's a fun thought to sit with. What if the Star Path actually evolved with you? Like, as you progress in the game and complete more quests, the duties adjust to your playstyle, giving you more engaging and meaningful tasks. Wouldn't that be kind of genius? Now, let's keep this train moving because the next one It's all about villager hangouts. And if you've ever wished you could run errands with a little squad instead of one bestie at a time, you're really gonna feel this next one. Number 8 on my list is more villager hangouts. What if we could hang out with more than one character at a time? Right now, we can summon villagers using some of those special items, but we're pretty limited in hanging out with only one villager at a time right now. I mean, who doesn't want to hang out with multiple characters in Dreamlight Valley? I know I do. Like, you could be walking around the valley and you've got Goofy by your side, followed by Mickey and Merlin, or whoever seems to match the theme for DreamSnaps that week. Wouldn't that be fun? Plus, it would save so much time, especially, like I was saying, for DreamSnap photo ops. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to spend time with more than one villager at once, especially when it would make the game feel even more alive. Now, I get that the bonuses from hanging out with villagers might be tricky here, but what if we could choose which character's bonus we'd like to activate when hanging out with multiple villagers? It could be a super simple solution that would make this feature so much easier for everyone, especially for DreamSnaps. Number 7 on my list is premium shop pricing. Let's talk about that. Now, this is a huge one. I've heard so many players talking about the premium shop pricing, and honestly, a lot of my friends as well. I can't say I blame them. With everything going on in the world right now, the current price point for some premium shop items is steep, to say the least. And for many players, that's been a deal breaker. People are stopping playing the game because they feel like the prices are just too high and, let's face it, a little predatory. So let's ask the big question. What if Gameloft adjusted the prices? It doesn't have to be a massive overhaul, but something that feels fairer to the players. For example, this week, the entire premium shop of new items costs $20 at least. $20 for a premium shop refresh is a tough pill to swallow when similar games cap their premium items at around $5 to $10. But here's the twist. If Gameloft reduced the prices, do you think they'd actually make more money? I kind of think that they could. Lower prices might actually open up the premium shop to a whole new demographic of players who might not have considered buying anything before, simply because the price was too high. More players could buy more items, and Gameloft might still make money, just in a more sustainable, player-friendly way. Number 6 is turning off spawnable items. Now, here's a simple one that's been requested for so long. A toggle to turn off spawnable items like night thorns, rocks, sticks, spices. When you're trying to take photos or do a valley tour, those things definitely get in the way. I can't tell you how many times I've had to run around the valley just picking up random spawnables that pop up. It's honestly kind of frustrating, especially when you're trying to create the perfect shot for DreamSnaps or just exploring your valley. What if we could just hit a button and boom, all those spawnable items are gone and permanently gone? For me, the vacuum is not a good enough solution. The valley would look so much cleaner if we had the option to permanently turn off spawnable items and then turn them back on whenever we want to. I feel like it's obvious how much time we would save with this feature. Let's be honest, most of us don't want random rocks and thorns popping up when we're trying to take cute photos and stuff, so this one feels like a no-brainer to me, especially when it's a small change that could have such a huge impact on the overall experience, especially for DreamSnaps. Let's make it happen, Gameloft. Number 5 is bugs and glitches. Here's something that I'm sure all of us can agree on. The bugs and glitches need to be fixed. I get it, no game is perfect, and there are always going to be a few bugs here and there, but when those bugs are the same ones we've been dealing with for years, it's kind of hard to stay patient. One of the most annoying bugs for me is the one that messes up your builds and decor when you exit furniture mode. Seriously, after over 2 years, how is this still happening? I know Gameloft is raking in money with the premium shop, so there's really no excuse for letting these kinds of glitches persist. especially since this game is not even free to play. If other games are pushing forward with new features and bug fixes, why is Dreamlight Valley still dealing with these same issues? I'd love to see Gameloft dedicate more time to addressing these types of glitches. A smoother, less buggy experience would go a long way in improving the overall game quality. Plus, it's a good look for them also to show that they care about fixing problems. Number 4 on my list is Touch of Magic. This is a feature definitely in need of TLC. This is one of those features that could be so amazing, but right now it just doesn't feel like it's being used to its full potential. Imagine if the Touch of Magic allowed you to create even more items and furniture. What if we could have more spaces in the wardrobe or furniture modes to store our designs? And don't even get me started on the glitches with Touch of Magic. My custom clothing designs have been ruined more times than I can count, especially after updates. What if Gameloft could focus on making Touch of Magic easier to use and more reliable? That way players could create even more cool stuff without having to worry about losing their designs every time there's an update. I also think expanding upon this feature would really inspire the more creative players like myself to keep playing and sharing our cool new designs. Number 3 is a rain toggle. Why is this not a thing yet? Alright, here's the one that makes me scratch my head. This rain toggle. It's literally one of the most requested features by the community, and yet it still hasn't been added. And here's the kicker. Other games like Inzoi already have it, and they're still in their infancy. If they can do it, why can't Gameloft? Having the option to toggle rain off could completely change the vibe of the game, especially for those of us who want a more pleasant aesthetic when we're decorating, taking photos, or DreamSnaps. So Gameloft, please, hear us out on this one. A simple toggle would go a long way in making this game even more enjoyable. Number 2 is creative mode. Imagine a creative mode in Dreamlight Valley. You know, where we could just let loose and build without worrying about resources or restrictions. I personally think this is such a cool idea, and it could really reignite the creative spark for so many players. Minecraft did this for years, and it's been a huge hit. If Dreamlight Valley had a similar feature, it would allow players to unleash their imagination without being constrained by the game's regular rules. Picture this. Unlimited resources, no need to grind for materials, just pure unadulterated creativity. Whether you want to design a new neighborhood, build a massive castle area, or just have fun with different architectural styles, creative mode would make it possible. Plus, it would attract a whole new set of players who love building but don't want the grind. But the best part? This could add longevity to the game. Right now, once you hit the end game, a lot of players feel like there's nothing left to do, and the grind just becomes monotonous. Creative mode could open up a whole new realm of possibilities for players, offering them the freedom to build, create, and innovate. If Gameloft added a feature like this, I bet it would breathe new life into the community. Imagine the builds we could see, the inspiration, and the new challenges that could come from it. I'm sure my number 1 might not surprise a lot of my followers, but my number 1 is a multiplayer overhaul and reassessment. So my number 1 request, yes, a overhaul of multiplayer in Dreamlight Valley. I believe this could possibly be coming, but this one has been a big issue, especially in the cozy gaming community. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know how I feel about the current state of multiplayer. It's honestly baffling how badly it's been handled, and I'm not the only one who thinks that. For a game that draws so many creatives and with so many creative elements, Disney Dreamlight Valley shares many similarities with Animal Crossing, and it's clear that we have a large part of that community now in Disney Dreamlight Valley. In these similar cozy gaming spaces like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley, sharing resources, using treasure islands, and modding has never been a major point of controversy. Disney Dreamlight Valley has managed to alienate a huge portion of their player base in one fell swoop by implementing mechanics in the game that are banning and flagging players that use treasure valleys or mods. Even players that use none of those features but simply use it for sharing resources amongst friends or visiting other players' Daisy's shop or sharing Touch of Magic clothing items have been flagged or banned unjustifiably. Gameloft further upset players by doubling down and refusing to admit their own mistakes in banning or flagging players, generically copying their terms of service with no real human or transparent response or effort to understand the major upset that they caused in their own community. Now all of this mess has deeply undermined players' trust in the company. What would I recommend? As I said to a recent commenter on one of my videos, while I do believe that grinding for resources can be rewarding early on in the game, once players reach the end game, it often becomes the only remaining activity, and it can quickly become tedious. At that point, the game should ideally evolve to offer more variety and depth, with dynamic tasks that continue to engage players creatively. If Gameloft doesn't want to go that route, I believe the least they could do is offer an option to reduce the grind as players approach the end game, like for example, after completing all quests and leveling up all the characters, maybe letting players buy unlimited bulk resources with gold at a different stall, or I just feel like there's so many options they could explore to remedy the situation, but as of right now, they're simply choosing to copy-paste their terms of service and ban players in multiplayer and cover their ears, all the while completely alienating a large majority of their player base and leaving players kind of terrified of ever using multiplayer ever again. What if Gameloft actually listened to the community on this? The multiplayer experience could be so much more enjoyable if players didn't have to live in constant fear of getting banned or flagged now because Gameloft implemented a broken system. Gameloft has a huge opportunity here to turn this around by offering more transparency, being more flexible, and removing this broken, hostile new mechanic and restoring their community's faith in multiplayer again. If they could reassess the way multiplayer is handled and possibly open some new features, maybe even create a system that helps players connect in a more constructive way, Dreamlight Valley could be a leader in community-driven experiences. I really hope Gameloft sees this and takes it to heart. I know some people might see critical videos like this and think I'm just trying to bash the game, but it couldn't be further from the truth. I love Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's helped me through some incredibly hard times, and I deeply appreciate all the joy it's brought me. But I also believe that loving something means wanting it to grow. I don't want to sugarcoat issues or stay silent just to play nice. I want to see this game reach its full potential. Just like with people we care about, real love isn't passive, it's transformative. And that's the spirit behind this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to be notified of my future uploads, and if you all have any ideas or insights on what you'd like to see in Disney Dreamlight Valley in the future, let me know down in the comments below. I would really be interested to hear your thoughts. And I'll see you all in the next video. I'd like to give a huge thank you to our Squishy Squad members, Morgane, Rosie Rain 126, Brandy Russell, Quietly Thriving, and Annette Wolfgang. Welcome to the Squishy Squad, Annette. Want exclusive perks? Join the Squishy Squad for $4.99 a month. Get early video access, badges, emojis, polls, exclusive posts, and behind-the-scenes content. Hit join below or check the link in the description. Not ready to join? Show some love with super thanks, and I'll shout you out. However you choose to support, whether it's through memberships, super thanks, or just watching and liking, thank you so much. You all make this community amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you.
Life's hard, but it's worth living. Grief can be unforgiving, but I'm here and you're right with me, and it's okay to be squishy.